Shalom, peace, back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about stop trying to control the situation. So this is a little bit touching on Jezebel, just a little bit, but it's also still touching on submissiveness. So again, for those who haven't been watching the series, submission means to come under the plan, right? To cooperate with the man that you're with and yeah, get down with his game plan. So stop trying to control the situation. So this is where Jezebel tendencies kind of sort of get in. But when you're trying to control a situation, you're not coming under the plan because your man is leading, right? So a lot of different things that we try to do to manipulate or control a situation is that we manipulate to try to get the man to fulfill something that we may desire or something that we may want. So, okay. So I'm going to kind of go into childhood trauma a bit and how unhealthy relationships start. And I've said it before, when two whole people get together, there's a healthy relationship. When two unhealthy people get together, or they're broken people, I should say, then you're going to have a dysfunctional relationship. So, with that being said, a lot of times, like when it comes to those dysfunctional dynamics, and I'm also speaking from experience as well, a lot of times when it comes to dysfunctional relationships, there's a lot of like manipulation and control. And I can only speak from the woman's perspective. I'm not saying that it's only the woman, but I'm a woman, so I can only speak from that perspective. It's not my place to speak from the man's perspective. So from the woman's perspective, a lot of times we try to control the situation out of our own fear of facing something we don't want to face. So out of fear, we try to control. And a lot of times it stems from our upbringing. A lot of times we didn't receive the proper nurturing and care from our parents. And so we seek out relationships where a man is giving us all of this love and attention, and it feels like love, right? Because when someone is, giving you compliments, saying how beautiful you are, how wonderful you are, it feels really good. It feels like love. So because you didn't receive love from your parents, you grow up wanting to seek that out of another person, most times your mate. So when your mate falls short and they're not able to feel certain things to make you feel good or to make you feel like you're being loved, then you try to control the situation. So you may go into some of those Jezebel tactics and you may start guilt tripping. Like, oh, when was the last time you did this for me? You didn't celebrate my birthday, or you forgot. So the culture, the westernized culture, it doesn't help because it supports this idea that this man is supposed to cater to your every emotion, every feeling, and give you all of that love. But that love that we're supposed to receive was supposed to come from our parents, and as adults, we're not supposed to come into, if we want healthy relationships and we're whole, we're not supposed to, come into relationships and expect the other person to fulfill the gaps or fulfill the holes, the emptiness that is inside. That love that we're seeking, that fulfillment is supposed to come from us fulfilling our purpose, and that's coming from on high, from the Most High. And we're supposed to have enough love that overflows outwards and come into relationships as women serving, not for that man to serve us, because we're supposed to be the exir connectos. We're supposed to be the helpmeets. So we're supposed to be protecting that man, not draining him, and trying to pull, because a righteous man, he is already serving the people, right? So for those who read scripture, you know what I'm talking about. So you have a righteous man, he's already serving the community, serving the people, and he doesn't need a headache. So when it comes to trying to control the situation, again, a lot of times that comes out of fear, not wanting to let go of control. So I think this is where it becomes important to learn lessons on surrender and trusting the Most High Yah. And if you read scripture, it does say, thou shalt not want, right? You shall not want. That's when you kind of get into trouble. Not kind of, but you get into trouble because you're not leaning on what the Most High is guiding you to do. But you're leaning on, well, I want this and I want that, so I'm going to try to make it happen. And when it comes to manipulation, you're not communicating those things. So you're not being vulnerable enough to come out and say like, hey, I would like this, or I need my need met. There's something that's inside me that needs to be met. I have a desire or a need, and I'm looking for that to be fulfilled, and hearing the other person respond. Also, just because you have a need that needs to be fulfilled doesn't necessarily mean that it's on your partner to fulfill that. So sometimes if you're feeling like a lack of like, okay, I'm not receiving enough attention, is it that you're not really receiving enough attention, or you are requiring or requesting too much attention from a person who is fulfilling their purpose? And especially for a man, when he's fulfilling his purpose, he doesn't necessarily have time to give you all of this attention that you associate with being loved. So I think also it's important to look at the definitions that we have for love, and love means connection. So love means to be connected to someone. And so all of this romantic and feelings of like you gotta feel a certain type of way, or this man has to woo you and do certain things to make you feel like you are in this loving relationship, that's not real love. That's not real love. Real love is a connection. I can say that I don't necessarily, I've never been a woman that was swept off my feet when I was given flowers, but I can tell for the other person, it was something that they learned as a product of society. Oh, you're supposed to give a woman flowers. When I would receive flowers, I'm like, thank you, because that's what I'm supposed to say. But like, what am I gonna do with some flowers? Like they're just gonna die. And now if I have some seeds, I can plant them in the earth and grow a plant. But some flowers that are just gonna die, what does that do? What does that even symbolize? So there are other things that symbolize love and connection. Someone being there to support me when I need it, and I may not even know I need it, but they come and they're able to be there, and I'm like, wow, like I needed that person, and they was able to just be there for me, and they didn't have to do that. Like there are other things that I value as opposed to like the material things. And that kind of goes back to, I think I spoke about this last time, but it kind of goes back to like being enveloped in the world versus communing with the Most High Yah, and not living for the world. So yeah, receiving flowers, the man opening up the door for you, that is so like whack. I would just say like that's so whack, because like chivalry, that's like people say, oh, chivalry is dead. Like, yeah, let it be dead, because that doesn't mean anything to a Hebrew woman. That doesn't mean anything. What are we building? Where are we going to be 5 years from now? Are we nation building? Are we kingdom building? Like, what are we establishing? What type of businesses are we going to be opening up? What kind of children are we going to be creating? What impact are we going to be making on the world? That's love and connection to me. Like, we are moving, we grinding, we teamwork, we on it. This man, he's over here doing his thing. I'm over here holding it down, doing my thing. That's what it's about, and that's what keeps the relationship running for the long haul. If you look at the reasons for divorce, a lot of times it has to do with finances. Just if you just go online and just type in reasons for divorce, there's common reasons, and when you read them, what you'll find is a lot of times the person didn't vet the person, they didn't truly get to know the person, or those persons that you, both of y'all really, it's both for the man and the woman, you got into a relationship and you didn't have your own values established, and you didn't have any morals, and you didn't have any principles. Not saying you didn't have any, but you didn't have enough to keep y'all together. Because I mentioned it in the last video, if you was moving on integrity, then why would there be a problem? Both people are righteous. You get what you get. You trust the person. You know how they're going to get down in the situation. They know how you're going to get down in the situation based on they seeing how you function and how your character is. So why would there wouldn't be a divorce? Because you have two people come into a situation, they know who they are. They know their identity. But when you don't know your identity and you just playing house, then that's when things get messy and divorces happen. So back to the topic. Just start trying to control. Start trying to control. And Yeah. And it really puts a woman too in a very masculine position, you know, and out of alignment with the Most High Yah. It goes against what the Proverbs 31 woman is, you know, so, and it may take some time to just really sit down and really become aware of that behavior. You know, it may take some time because a lot of us had mothers who were Jezebels. I know I did. Sorry, mother. But it's a common thing. So it's like, you're not alone. It's a common thing that is just a byproduct of, I do think it's a byproduct of the um, the trauma from slavery and just, you know, you got mentally messed up, you know, and programmed, and there's a lot of deprogramming that needs to be done. So that's pretty much it. I don't blame my parents at this point, you know, and there's no point like in doing that, especially when you come to a place where it's like you're reading, you're educating yourself, and you're able to read Torah, you're able to read law, you understand why your parents were the way that they are, and you may have even inherited some traits, and you're like, okay, I understand, like this is not as easy as I may have thought it should have been, you know, for my parents, and now I understand. But it's my responsibility to cultivate myself and establish identity. All right, so that's it for this video. I didn't mean for it to be this long, but that's it. So the next set of videos, we are going into receptivity. So that's the end of submission and the importance of submission coming under the plan. Learning how to surrender. Okay? All right. Peace.